Okay, the last tutorial we talked about getting form input from the user, making the page do different things depending on the input. This one we're going to springboard into a database, saving the form data into a database. What I did is I created a database here at, let me go to my database here. I created a database called Hello MySQL. I created a table in the database. What a table is just a collection of data, and we're going to have name, age, and drink stored. Name and drink are what I call character or strings. That can be any character. Where age is an integer, it's just going to be a number. So we're going to insert data into this. But the first thing we got to do is we're going to have to find a place to put the insert. So at the top of the page, what we need to do is we need to check to see if the name does not, it has something in it. Then we're going to save it in the database. So what I'm going to do is do an if statement. I'm going to check to see if name is not nothing. And the way to do not equals in PHP is an exclamation point and the equal sign. And as far as strings go, nothing is just quote, quote, two quotes. I'll do a quote block here. And this is where we're going to do our insert. Basically, what that condition is trying to evaluate, basically, if name has something, it's going to execute here. Or if name does not have nothing, it's going to execute here. So first thing we do is we've got to connect to our database. So I'll go ahead and get the MySQL database connect command. I just did a simple query in Google MySQL insert PHP, and I came across this page which has the syntax for this. So basically, connecting to a database is very easy, or inserting is very easy. You connect, you execute what's called a query with the connection and the string you want to execute. This string here is what's called a SQL statement, SQL statement. MySQL, just like any other database, has its own language for inserting, reading, deleting, updating data. So we're going to deal with the insert statement for this tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and copy these lines of code here. We're going to have to change some things once I get it pasted, but we'll go from there. Let's see. And I'm going to tab in everything to make it look nice. Now I'm going to get rid of one of the inserts. I'll tab that. And that should do it. So basically the first thing you do is to connect. You got to connect to a server with a username, password, and a database name. We're going to use the local server, which is called localhost. Localhost is like a reserved name on all servers to mean the machine itself. If you were going to another server, you would put a full URL to the other server. Like I say, you had a database on google.com, it'd be google.com. So you do the connection with where are you connecting to, the username, the password, and the password I have stored in a it's stored in a variable called password. And for obvious reasons, I'm not going to I'm not going to be showing, since this is a public video, I won't be showing the password. But what I did is I created a PHP file called password.php, and I put one line of code in it that defined that. And finally, the database name you need to connect to. So I got to find the database name here. Let's see, it's Hello PHP is a database name. No, actually, yeah, Hello MySQL is a database name. So go ahead and put that in there. Okay. Basically, this right here, it just checks to see if there's an error. If there is, it just says failed. It just shows the error to the user. And then finally, we're going to do the insert. Basically, it's what's called the query command. Query command basically takes in two parameters. First is a connection, which is that $con variable. We set it here. We set it equal to whatever the connect command returned. And then it takes in the insert statement. As I said, this is a language for database inserts for database access. Is a language that you use to read, update insert data. So we're going to go ahead and insert. We're going to go ahead and delete that, and I'm going to make a variable actually out of it. I'll call it SQL. Okay, SQL is going to be a string, which is just text. I'm going to say SQL equals insert into, and then you got to put the table name. Table name is hello. Let me check the table name real fast. Hello PHP. Hello PHP is this table's name, so I'll go ahead and use that. PHP. And then this is a SQL command. This isn't inside the string is SQL command. It's not PHP, and SQL has its own syntax. So basically, the insert command is insert into the table name, and you have the fields you want to insert, the fields of data you want to insert. So we have 3 fields: name, age, drink. And then you tell it what values you want to put in there. And what we want to put in is the name, age, and favorite drink variables here. The way we do that is we're going to concatenate. We're going to concatenate these variables into this one string. When inserting text, you have to use a single quote. Now I'm going to do the dot concatenation. Put the name variable, dot, single quote, and then the next value is going to be age. Age is the number, so you don't need a single quote anymore. So I'm going to just do quote dot age, and then I'm going to do comma, and then the drink is a string, so I have to put a single quote. In my SQL, strings are noted by single quotes, so one quote. So I'm going to put dot, and I'm going to copy this. Make sure I misspelled favorite drink. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So we have we have favorite drink there, and we're going to finish the SQL statement by doing a single quote, the right parenthesis, and then finally put the semicolon. That's going to evaluate to. It's going to add all these things to one string and execute it. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And then I'm going to go ahead and we're going to see if it works. 1 second. Go back here. I'm going to go ahead and refresh. Okay, refreshing doesn't do anything because we don't have it. Name is equal to nothing. So there's no insert that happened. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually type in a name. I'll say Rob 25 coffee. It looked like all the data values were read. Let me try one more time. Megan 5 milk. And then I'm going to take a look at my database here and see if the data elements were there. Let's see. Okay, for some reason it did not insert correctly. I got to see what's going on there. 1 second. Hello PHP, everything else is good. See if I had an error anywhere. Nope, no error. So I'm going to go ahead and look at the code. I think I may have done something wrong here. Let me see. Failed. It didn't echo this, so it connected. Name not equal to nothing. I'm going to put an echo here. I'll echo the SQL statement. Go ahead and save. Looks like everything's good there. Hello MySQL. I gotta make sure all that's good, but let me go ahead and I put that echo statement on purpose so I can debug this, and it's called debugging. At least I know I get in that block if I have that there. I'll say 15, 25, 3. Let's save. Okay. There's a problem with it's not even entering that conditional. Let's go change that real fast. Let me see. Uh, let me see something. It's not even coming in here. So let me see why. Make sure the variable name is the same. Let me see. Wow. Save. Maybe it didn't save it to the server. Let's try to save it. Make sure it's saved. Okay. Go and save it. Now let's try it one more time. Go ahead and refresh. Yeah, so I'm going to cancel that. I'm just going to add another record here. I'm going to try it again. Rob 15. Ah, okay. It's actually working. I just don't have the right file name here. Let's go ahead and do that. Now it should work. I'll say Rob 25 coffee. Okay. No, you know, I figured it out. The reason why it's not working properly, it's two reasons. First, I was loading the wrong file. Second, the form from the last example is pointing to hello form.php. So what it was doing, it was posting this data not to hello mysql, but to hello form, which has no database things to it. So I'm going to change that to hello mysql.php. I'm going to save it. Override. And I'll come here, I'll go back to hello mysql. Okay, here we go. Let's try it again. Rob 18. Okay, it looked like it worked because that's the insert statement I created. And remember, I echoed that, and I put the echo there so I can see if I was hitting that. And that SQL statement is a good SQL statement, so I'm going to add one more. Again, 7 milk. And I'm going to look at the data here. Let's see. There you go. So this concludes. Basically, what we did is we inserted data into a database based on user input. We used SQL insert statement, which is defined in the SQL language. And the SQL has its own language, and it's very easy to brush up and learn it. What we did is we checked to see if the name was not empty. Because if it's empty, we're not going to be. It means that the form you just landed on the page the first time. If it's not equal to nothing, which means there's something in name, then I connect to the database. I check to see if there's an error, and if there's an error, I put a message, and there's no error. I created the SQL insert statement, and remember, this is all SQL language. Then I executed that statement by using the query command, and I closed the connection. And this was a resulting SQL statement. That is what that line of code created. You saw the concatenation. That concludes this tutorial. And next tutorial, we're going to show you how to get data from the database and display it.